Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
1. Introduction. Imagine two important countries. They are far away from each other, separated by a very big ocean. But these two countries share many things. They speak the same language, English. They also have a long history that connects them. These countries are the United States of America, which we call the USA, and the United Kingdom, or the UK. Even with a shared past and language, the USA and the UK are very different. Their ways of life, their governments, and even how people talk can be surprising. But it is also true that they have many things that are similar. Sometimes these similarities are very unexpected. This book will take you on a journey. We will explore these two nations together. Our goal is to look at their interesting differences and their surprising similarities. We want to understand what makes each country special. This is not about saying one country is better than the other. It is about learning in a neutral way. We will simply observe and learn about both. The USA is a very large country. It is made up of 50 states. Each state has its own rules, but they all follow the main rules of the USA. The UK is a smaller country. It is made up of 4 different countries: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. These 4 countries come together to form the United Kingdom. Both the USA and the UK are very important countries in the world today. They have played big roles in history and continue to do so. In the chapters that follow, we will look at many parts of life in both countries. We will start by understanding how their governments work. This means learning about their leaders and their laws. Then, we will move on to the people themselves. We will explore their cultures, their daily lives, and how they behave. We will also talk about money and jobs. How do people earn a living? What are their working hours like? Later, we will look at how society is organized. We will see how healthcare works and how people interact with each other in public. Education is also a big topic. We will compare how children and young adults go to school and university in the USA and the UK. And of course, no journey would be complete without talking about food and free time. What do people like to eat? What sports do they play? How do they relax? By the end of this book, you will have a clear picture of both the USA and the UK. You will see how their shared history led to 2 unique nations. You will understand their distinct characters and appreciate the many ways they are alike and different. Let's begin this interesting journey of discovery. 2. How the countries are run. The United States of America and the United Kingdom are both democracies. This means people vote for their leaders. However, their governments work differently. Each country has its own system for running things. In the United States, the government is a federal republic. It has a president. The president is the head of the country and also the head of the government. They lead the nation and make many important decisions. A key part of the U.S. government is the separation of powers. This helps keep the government fair. Power is divided into 3 main parts: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial branches. The president is in the executive branch. The legislative branch, called Congress, makes laws. The judicial branch interprets laws. These 3 parts check each other. This stops any one part from becoming too powerful. Congress has 2 parts. One is the Senate and the other is the House of Representatives. People vote for the members of both houses. These elected members create new laws. Now let's look at the United Kingdom. The UK has a constitutional monarchy. In this system, there is a monarch, a king or queen. The monarch is the head of the country, but their job is mostly ceremonial. They have important duties, but do not make many political decisions. The Prime Minister is the head of the government in the UK. The Prime Minister has the real power to run the country. The UK's system is also based on parliamentary sovereignty. This means Parliament has the highest power to make laws. Parliament is the most important legal authority. Like the US Congress, the UK Parliament also has two houses. One is the House of Commons. People vote for its members. The other is the House of Lords. Most members in the House of Lords are not elected, they are appointed. Both houses work to discuss and pass new laws. The elected House of Commons usually has more power. So, the USA has a president and separated powers. The UK has a monarch and a prime minister, with Parliament holding the highest legal authority. These different ways show how two nations can have unique political systems. 3. People and culture. Chapter 3 explores the ways people live and behave in the USA and the UK. Culture shows us how people interact, what they value, and their daily customs. There are some clear differences between the two nations. In the United States, culture often highlights individualism. This means that people value their personal freedom and ideas very much. Americans are also known for being informal. They usually speak in a relaxed way and do not always follow strict social rules. Many Americans are outgoing and friendly, often liking to talk to new people. The USA is a very diverse country. People from many different racial, religious, and cultural backgrounds live there. This mix of people creates a rich and varied society. Americans tend to be openly patriotic, often showing their love for their country with flags and national celebrations. This strong sense of national pride is very visible. On the other hand, British culture often has a strong focus on tradition. History is very important, and people respect old customs and ways of doing things. British people can be more reserved than Americans. They might not always show their emotions openly. Politeness is also highly valued in the UK. Good manners and respectful behavior are important in many social situations. There is often a greater emphasis on community. People feel connected to their local areas and to each other. They also believe in collective responsibility, meaning they work together for the good of the group. The British are well known for their unique sense of humor. It is often dry, sarcastic, and ironic. This kind of humor can be clever and sometimes subtle, a key part of their social interactions. These different cultural traits shape daily life in both countries. American culture, with its focus on the individual and informality, creates a certain social atmosphere. British culture, with its traditions and more reserved nature, leads to a different kind of social interaction. Both cultures are rich and interesting. Understanding these ways of life helps us see how people in the USA and the UK behave and think. It shows us their values. These differences make each nation unique and give them a special identity. While they share a language, their cultural expressions have grown in different ways. Exploring these aspects helps us appreciate the diversity within the English-speaking world. 4. Money and jobs. The economy and how people work are important parts of daily life in both the USA and the UK. These two nations have large economies, but their approaches to jobs and work culture can be quite different. The United States has the biggest economy in the world. This means it produces a very large amount of goods and services each year. In the USA, many people have what is called a hustle culture. This means they often work very hard and for long hours. Working overtime is a common thing to do. The idea is to work extremely hard to achieve success and advance in one's career. This often means that people have less free time outside of their jobs. When it comes to holidays, workers in the USA usually get fewer paid days off. On average, they have between 10 and 15 paid vacation days each year. This provides less time for extended breaks or personal activities, making work a central part of many Americans' lives. The United Kingdom also has a big and important economy in the world. It is one of the largest economies globally. In the UK, the work culture often puts more value on work-life balance. This means people try to have a good amount of time for their jobs and also for their personal lives. There are clearer lines between when someone is working and when they are not. People believe it is important to have time for family, hobbies, and relaxation outside of work hours. Workers in the UK typically receive more paid time off. They are usually given 28 paid days off per year. This allows people to take longer holidays or more frequent short breaks throughout the year, supporting their work-life balance. So while both countries have strong economies, the way people work and the amount of time they have for holidays are different. The USA often focuses on intense work and career progress, while the UK often emphasizes a balanced life with adequate rest and personal time. 5. Living in society. How people live together in a country is shaped by its social rules and structures. The USA and the UK have different ways of organizing important services and how people interact daily. These differences can be seen in areas like healthcare and social customs. In the USA, the healthcare system is mostly private. This means that people usually pay for health insurance. Many people get this insurance through their job. If someone does not have insurance, they often have to pay for all their medical care themselves. The government does help some groups, like older people or those with very low incomes. However, for most Americans, getting care from doctors or hospitals depends on having private health insurance. The UK has a different system called the National Health Service, or NHS. This is a public healthcare system. It is paid for by taxes that people pay from their earnings. Because it is funded by taxes, most healthcare services are free for people when they need them. This includes visits to a doctor, stays in a hospital, and many medical operations. This system aims to make sure everyone can get medical help, no matter how much money they have. Social interactions also show differences between the two nations. In the USA, people are often friendly and informal. Americans commonly talk to strangers, a practice known as small talk. They might ask about your day or where you are from, even if they have just met you. This open way of talking can make new people feel comfortable quickly. People often start using first names soon after meeting. In the UK, social etiquette tends to be more reserved and formal. Politeness is very important. People often say please and thank you many times. They might not talk to strangers as much as Americans do, especially in public places like on a bus or train. Personal space is also valued. People usually wait to be introduced before becoming too friendly. Using titles like Mr. or Ms. can be more common until a closer relationship is formed. These different approaches to healthcare and social interactions show how each country builds its society. Understanding these structures helps us see how daily life is shaped in the USA and the UK. Both systems aim to help people, but they do it in distinct ways that reflect their unique cultures. 6. Going to school. The way children and young people learn is different in the United States and the United Kingdom. Both countries want their students to do well, but their education systems have different ideas about how to achieve this. In the United States, the education system is often called broad and flexible. This means students learn about many different subjects. From a young age, students study a wide range of topics. They do not have to choose one specific area too early. This continues when they go to university, which Americans call college. When students start college, they often do not know what their main subject will be. They spend their first 1 or 2 years exploring many different fields. They might take classes in history, science, art, and English all at the same time. This helps them find out what they like and what they are good at. After some time, they choose a major, which is their main subject. A university degree in the USA usually takes 4 years to finish. This gives students plenty of time to explore before they decide on their future path. Another important part of American education is extracurricular activities. These are activities students do after regular school hours. They are not part of the normal lessons. Examples include playing sports like basketball or soccer, joining a drama club, or working for the school newspaper. These activities are very important for students who want to go to university. Universities look at these activities when students apply. They show that a student is well-rounded and has many interests outside of their studies. They also help students learn teamwork and leadership skills. The education system in the United Kingdom is different. It is known for being more focused and specialized. This means students often choose their main field of study earlier. When they go to university, they usually choose one specific subject from the beginning. For example, a student might decide to study only history or only biology from their very first day. They do not take many different subjects like in the USA. The goal is to gain a deep and thorough understanding of that one chosen subject. Because students focus on one subject from the start, university degrees in the UK are generally shorter. Most undergraduate degrees take 3 years to complete. This is 1 year less than in the United States. The UK system believes in becoming an expert in one area. Students spend all their time studying their chosen subject in great detail. They learn a lot about it. This helps them become specialists in their field quickly. So while both countries educate their young people, they do it in different ways. The USA offers a broad path with many choices and activities. The UK offers a more focused path, aiming for deep knowledge in one area. Both systems prepare students for their future, but they use different methods to do it. 7. Food and free time. Chapter 7 looks at what people eat and how they spend their free time in the USA and the UK. Both countries offer many interesting things in terms of food and leisure. In the United States, food is very diverse. It has influences from all over the world. Many cultures have brought their food traditions to America. For example, Mexican food is very popular in the USA. You can find many Mexican restaurants there. This type of food is not as common in the United Kingdom. Some famous American foods include apple pie, a sweet dessert. Another well-known dish is chicken and waffles, which mixes sweet and savory tastes. The USA is also known for many kinds of junk foods like burgers and fries, which are easy to find and eat. The United Kingdom has its own special foods. Traditional British meals are an important part of the culture. One popular meal is the full English breakfast. It usually has eggs, bacon, sausages, beans, and toast. Another famous British dish is fish and chips, which is fried fish with thick-cut fried potatoes. People often eat this with salt and vinegar. The Sunday roast is also a big part of British food culture. Families often eat roasted meat, potatoes, vegetables, and gravy together on Sundays. When it comes to sports, the two countries enjoy different games. In the USA, 3 sports are very popular. American football is a big sport, especially with its Super Bowl event. Basketball is another favorite, played by many people and watched by many fans. Baseball is also a traditional American sport, often called America's pastime. In the UK, different sports are most loved. Soccer, which Americans call football, is extremely popular. Many people follow local and national teams. Tennis is also a well-liked sport, especially during big tournaments like Wimbledon. Cricket is a traditional British sport played with a bat and ball. Rugby is another team sport that many people in the UK play and watch. National holidays are also different. In the USA, 2 major holidays are Thanksgiving and Independence Day. Thanksgiving is a time for families to gather and eat a big meal, usually in November. Independence Day, on the 4th of July, celebrates the country's freedom with fireworks and parades. These holidays are not celebrated in the UK. The UK has its own unique holidays. Boxing Day is celebrated on the day after Christmas, on December 26th. It is often a day for shopping or watching sports. The UK also celebrates royal events such as the King's or Queen's birthday. These days are special because they honor the monarch and British traditions. These differences in food, sports, and holidays show how each nation has its own way of life and its own culture for free time. 8. The final lesson. This journey has shown us much about the United States and the United Kingdom. Both countries speak English and share a long history, yet they grew into 2 very different nations. This book explored their interesting differences and some surprising similarities. We saw how their governments work. The USA has a president and a Congress with separate powers. The UK has a king or queen, but a prime minister leads the government. Its parliament holds the most power. These systems lead people in distinct ways. In Chapter 3, we learned about people and cultures. Americans are often open and informal. British people can be more reserved, valuing community and a special humor. Both cultures are rich. Chapter 4 talked about money and jobs. The USA has a very big economy. Many work long hours called hustle culture. The UK focuses more on work-life balance. Workers often get more paid holiday time. Then in Chapter 5, we looked at living in society. Healthcare is very different. In the USA, many use private insurance. In the UK, the National Health Service helps everyone. Social rules also differ. Americans might be friendly quickly. British people might be more formal. Chapter 6 explained how children go to school. American schools offer many subjects. University degrees usually take 4 years. UK schools often focus on one subject from the start. Degrees there usually take 3 years. Chapter 7 explored food and fun. American food is very diverse with many world influences like apple pie. British food includes traditional meals like fish and chips. For sports, Americans love football and basketball. British people prefer soccer and cricket. Each country also has its own special holidays. This final lesson teaches us something important. Even with a shared history, countries can grow in unique ways. The USA and the UK are connected, but they have their own personalities. Understanding these differences helps us see the world better. It shows there are many ways to live, govern, and enjoy life. Each nation has special qualities. Appreciating these differences helps us understand the richness of cultures.